How's it going, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping out another video. Right, Boxing Day, guys. Hope you're all having a fantastic Christmas, doing what you're doing. Hope you're all fat and full after your food and everything. I've spent it on my own, just the way I like it. I ask you to spare a thought for prisoners and prisoners' families who are obviously separated at this time. Yeah, prison is the worst time of year for prisoners and definitely their families and their children, of course. And we've got kids in prison, we've got men in prison, and we've also got females in prison. My thoughts also go out to people that have lost somebody this year. I've spoken to quite a few prisoners' families this year whose loved ones tragically taken their own life whilst in prison. So yeah, it's just be grateful for the things you've got and not wishful for the things you think you have. Do you know what I mean? You're rich by what you have, not by what you want. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people are not happy with what they want. They always want better. Right? Be happy with what you've got, because the reality is there's a lot of people out there in a lot worse situation than yourselves. So be grateful. Anyway, guys, moving on from that, prison news. There's a story that's broken in the last, hour or two, about a man by the name of Robert Brown from Coventry who hit two boys and killed them, age 6 and I believe 2, who died. It was a hit and run incident. He got sentenced earlier this year, and yesterday he took his own life at Dovegate prison. I'm going to cover the story, guys, and then I'm going to do my little bit at the end. So this is a story in the Daily Mirror, link in the description below like I always do. Headline reads, driver who killed 2 brothers in hit and run found dead in cell on Christmas Day. Robert Brown, 53, was found dead in his cell roughly 10 months after he killed Corey and Casper Platt-May, aged 6 and 2, in Coventry. Now, if you look at the pictures at the start, guys, you've got the picture of the car after he'd hit these 2 boys, Corey and Casper Platt-May. God bless them both, may they rest in peace. You've got a picture of Robert Brown, and then you've also got a picture of Corey and Casper's father, who tragically took his own life after the boys were killed in Corfu. I believe he hung himself. God bless him, may he rest in peace. Sad and tragic story, guys, about the 2 boys. Robert Brown, I'm sorry, but I stick up for prisoners, guys, but I can't defend his offences. I just can't. The story reads, a drug driver who killed 2 brothers in an horrific hit and run accident early this year has been found dead in his cell. Robert Brown was serving a 10-year sentence for causing the deaths of Corey and Casper Platt-May, aged 6 and 2, by dangerous driving. The career criminal, 53, was found dead in his cell at HMP Dovegate in Uttoxeter, Staffordshire, on Christmas Day. The boys were killed by Brown on February the 22nd, and 3 months later their father Reese killed himself in Corfu. A spokesman for Serco, the private company which runs the prison, said, "We can confirm an inmate has died at HMP Dovegate. There will be a coroner's inquest in due course." Brown had been banned from driving and had never had a licence, was travelling at more than twice the speed limit when he struck Corey and Casper on February the 22nd of this year. The 53-year-old of Wycombe, Warwickshire, had taken cocaine, diazepam and zopiclone in the hours before the tragedy. Zopiclone's a sleeping tablet. The 2 brothers were with their mother, Louise Platt-May, when Brown's car hit them as they crossed the road in Coventry. Brown ploughed into the boys whilst driving at 61 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone. He fled the scene with his girlfriend, Gwendoline Harrison, but both were later arrested. He was sentenced to 9 years behind bars for 2 counts of causing death by dangerous driving. That was later increased to 10.5 years by the Court of Appeal. That sounds like the Platt-May family challenged the sentence as unduly lenient, and another 1.5 years was added to his sentence. 10.5 years, guys, for 2 death by dangerous is just disgusting. Brown had 30 previous convictions for driving offences, had only been released from prison 6 days before the crash, after serving half of the 6-month sentence for having an offensive weapon. Harrison, 42, of Wycombe, was jailed for 6 months after admitting assault, intending to resist arrest and attempting to flee the scene. Brown had never had a driving licence in his life and was banned from driving at the time of the crash. 3 months after the tragedy in February, the boys' dad, Reese Platt-May, hanged himself in Corfu. And then there's a picture at the start of Reese Platt-May. God bless him, may he rest in peace. Police said there were no suspicious circumstances in the death of Mr. Platt-May. Brave mum Louise, 28, has campaigned for longer sentences for killer drivers and smoke out after Brown's sentence was increased. She said, "We are pleased that the driver has been given a longer prison sentence, as what our families had to go through and will continue to experience for the rest of our lives highlights the need for the toughest possible sentences to be handed out to drivers who ruin lives." And then it shows the picture of the car and then the two boys. We repeat our call for the government to honour Corey and Casper's legacy by ensuring proposals to introduce tougher sentences for drivers who kill are made law as soon as possible, as practically possible. That doesn't make sense. To introduce tougher sentences for drivers who kill are made law as soon. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, she said, "The events of that day, having to witness your children die in front of you, is something that our family will never get over. We'll never forget the driver for the way he ripped our family apart." Life without Corey and Casper is difficult to put into words. Knowing we won't see their cheeky smile to hear their infectious laugh again is heartbreaking. Like I say, guys, this story is just... wow. 22nd of February, man. The Platt-May's lives were turned upside down. There's a picture of him and his girlfriend. They both look like they're bad on the drugs. I'll put the pictures at the start, guys. I stick up for prisoners. You'll not see me sticking up for Robert Brown or his Mrs. Gwendoline Harrison. And I'm going to tag them both in this story. My thoughts and prayers are with Robert Brown's family. They've done nothing wrong, and my thoughts and prayers are with them. Robert Brown taking his own life. Well, it's not been clarified that he's taken his own life. He could have overdosed in prison. He's obviously got a problem with drugs, but I'm more inclined to go down the suicide route. Hopefully, you've got to remember, guys, as well, in these sad and tragic circumstances of the two deaths of the little boys, yeah, like Casper and Corey, right? You've got to think that 3 months later, their father, Reese, took his own life in Corfu. He obviously wasn't dealing with the deaths of Corey and Casper, and sought to take his own life, which is sad and tragic. 3 people dead because of one dickhead's actions. And Robert Brown, I'm sorry, you don't speak ill of the dead, but you will not see any sort of emotion from me about Robert Brown's death. Good riddance. It's as simple as that. 6 years old and 2 years old, guys. Rest of their lives ahead of them. The father couldn't handle the fact of what they'd done, what he'd done, Robert Brown, and took his own life. Hopefully, Robert Brown was racked with guilt. Probably wasn't, but hopefully, he was racked with guilt. Sat in his cell at Dovegate and thought, you know what? I can't live with myself for what I've done. I'm having flashbacks to that night, and sought to take his own life. Hopefully that's the case, guys. Like I say, 4 people dead, including the person who obviously carried out this crime. He hit them whilst 61 miles an hour in a 30 mile an hour zone, whilst high on diazepam, and like, what was it? Diazepam, cocaine, and Zopiclone. Zopiclone's a sleeping tablet. I used to take Zopiclone. But yeah, under the influence of drugs, hit the children who was with their mother, Louise. God bless Corey and Casper, may they rest in peace. Made off from the scene. Got 9 years imprisonment. It sounds like the family then, the Platt-May family, challenged the sentence under the unduly lenient sentence, and went to the Court of Appeal to make sure that he got a higher sentence. Death by dangerous driving should, in my opinion, incur a higher sentence. If you think about it, if you've got a problem with somebody, right, and you want to do them in, right, and you don't want to walk up to them and put a bullet in them, right? Be very easy to get in a car, make sure you're over the limit, right? He could have had 3-4 pints, right? You're over the limit. You sit in a battered car, right? Might be a stolen car, it might be a ringer car on false plates, right? And you can plough into that person, drive over them, forward or reverse over them and get off. And you're going to get 4 or 5 years for death by dangerous. It's that simple, guys. So yeah, it should be, sentences definitely should be increased for death by dangerous drivers. 1,000,000%. I agree with Louise Platt-May. Sad and tragic circumstances, guys. Robert Brown's now dead. Good riddance. Like I say, the Platt-May family, just imagine if you're Louise Platt-May, your 2 sons are dead, 6 and 2-year-old Corey and Casper, God bless them both, may they rest in peace. 3 months later, your husband or your partner takes his own life in Corfu because he hasn't handled the fact of what's happened to his son, and no one can handle that fact. I don't have children myself, but I can't even imagine what the family have been through. I normally stick up for prisoners, guys, but I can't stick up for this Robert Brown. I just can't. Or his Mrs. Gwendoline Harrison. You can't defend the indefensible. I'm very interested to know from you guys. Like I say, you might, guys, criticise me for slagging off Robert Brown, but put your family in the situation of the Platt-Mays. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. And Robert Brown's taking his own life. I hope he was guilt-ridden, and I hope it loomed large over him every single day. And I hope that's the why. I hope that he's done himself in because of that fact. Like I say, guys, sad and tragic circumstances for the Platt-May family. God bless Corey, Casper, and Reese. May you all rest in peace. Robert Brown, rot in hell. Going to leave it there, guys. Link in the description. Like, comment, subscribe. Cody out.